Hey guys, Horror Man back for another review. So today we're going to take a look at the Batman vs. TMNT Robin and Raphael action figure 2-pack. Now this is made by DC Collectibles and it is part of an ongoing line of Batman vs. TMNT animated movie figures. Now we just took a look at the Batman Leonardo, so this is kind of a continuation of those reviews. So just taking a look at the packaging here, you do get the GameStop logo. These are exclusive to GameStop. Got the Batman vs. TMNT logo. It says Robin and Raphael 2-pack. Got the figures clearly displayed in that window. It does say 25 pieces. You got a DC logo here. Alright, and then over to the back of the box, you do get the Nickelodeon DC logos on there, and of course, GameStop logo. You get a nice read-up of the Batman vs. TMNT story if you want to go ahead and read that. You do get just pictures of the individual sets, and again, these are basically how they work together in the movie. Both of these characters in each set kind of team up with each other in some way through the movie, which is cool. Now, the release schedule, these two sets are already out, and then Batgirl Donatello should be October, Alfred Mikey is November, and then finally Ra's al Ghul and Shredder is December. Now there might be more after that, but nothing's been announced so far. And then at the bottom you do get the DCComics.com logo, and then the comic shop locator website, which is kind of weird because this is a GameStop exclusive. Batman, Mikey is Batman is the only one that was available at comic shops, so it's kind of weird they put that on there. And then over to the side it tells you who sculpted these. It says Robin sculpted by Paul Harding and Raphael sculpted by Jonathan Matthews. So let's go ahead and get these out of the box and get a closer look. Alright, so here they are outside of the packaging, and these both look pretty good. You can see that Raph is huge, especially compared to Robin. So let's go ahead and take a look at Robin first and take a look at that head sculpt. Alright, so taking a look at Robin here, I really like this head sculpt. They have really captured the way he looks in this movie. You can see the hair is kind of spiked up a little bit. The hairline's kind of funny. It's not like straight across, so it's got like even those spikes on the hairline. But I think that is true to the actual cartoon. The mask looks pretty good. He's got the little lines in the forehead, just like those little black lines you see in pretty much all the characters. Give it that nice cartoon look. He's got that little green domino mask, and I think that's done pretty well. And just like Batman, you get really nice details in the nose and in the mouth. So really good looking there. And over to the side, again, same really good details in here. You got the hair kind of spiked and kind of blowing back a little bit. You got the ear, even inner ear is really nicely detailed. And I like the look of his face. He's really got that like kind of pissed off look to him, which is definitely true to this version of Robin. Got some spikes on the back of the head. But yeah, overall, just really nice details. Now you do get two head sculpts for Robin, but before I change that, I just wanted to show that there is a little extra piece here, so it looks like he's pulled the hood down. So besides this head sculpt, you're also going to get the hood up head sculpt. And it's not the exact same sculpt. It's got a little bit different line work in the forehead, which is pretty cool. So to do this, you just want to pop this head off. And it's a pretty small head, and it is a small peg. And you also want to remove this hood, since he has the hood up. And then you just want to connect this into here, and it snaps in pretty good. And like I said, it's not the complete exact same head sculpt. It's very close, but you can see the eyes are closed just a little bit more, and he does have a little bit of those forehead lines kind of shown a little bit darker there, and they're kind of going a little bit different directions. So there is a little bit different look to this head sculpt, but I really do like it. The hood's nice and big, and from the side you can only see like part of the mouth. But overall, definitely like the hood up head sculpt. It's gonna be tough to figure out what I want to display these with, because I do like them both. So looking at the rest of Robin's body here, looking at the torso, you do get some nice line work on the actual outfit itself, and that is sculpted. It's not just painted. You do get the Robin logo, and this feels sculpted, but I think they painted the R or printed the R. But you do get some nice color going through here with some reds and greens, a little bit of yellow for the cape, of course. You do get the gauntlets, and just like Batman, they're more of a harder plastic. They're not going to be very rubbery. He's got a little fist. He's got his utility belt going on there. And then he does have a cape, but it's going to be, it's not the fabric cape, it's just going to be a plastic cape, and it is kind of a softer plastic cape. Now I kind of wish the hood kind of blended a little bit better with the cape. Kind of has like a Darth Vader helmet type of look to it. But overall I think they've done a pretty good job with the look. And then down to the lower half of the figure, pretty basic. You really don't get those lines like you got on Batman and the Turtles. It's just really just flat. But you do get some really nice work on the actual boots. You can see like the different line work, which is all sculpted, like all the little, I guess they're laces or like metal plates or something like that. But I do like the look of the boots. They're nice and big, and you do have some tread on the bottom of the boots. Unfortunately, again, you don't have any peg holes on this. Alright, so taking a look at Raphael, again, starting with the head sculpt, you do get a lot of that line work like you did with Leonardo and Batman. Nice black line work going on here. I like the look of the mouth. He's like kind of got that angry type of look to him, but it's kind of like, I don't know, more of a smirk this time. So he's not super mad. He doesn't have those teeth showing on here. You do get some little lines here on the sides of the face, which is nice. Now on him, unlike Leo, this is an actual scar going across his eye. And they actually did that pretty good. You can see it pretty clearly, and it is actually sculpted. It's not just painted on. I like the little black line in the like the eyebrows for the eyes. He's got the whited out eyes, and again you got a little like smirk line on here, which is all painted. The bandana is sculpted together, so it's two pieces on top of each other. Now, unlike Leonardo, this one seems to rest nicely on the chest, so I don't have as many complaints about this one. Leonardo's like really was like lifted up, so this does seem to lay a little bit more flat, just like it should. And then over to the back of the head, you can see the little knot for the bandana, and just like Leo, it really doesn't seem like it's meant to do any kind of posing. Now, just like the Robin figure, you actually get two different head sculpts, which is nice. So with the second head sculpt, you're going to get this sculpt with a helmet on, and this should pop on fairly easy, but the head is kind of weird, so just have to get underneath that bandana, and it's got that ball peg, and you just want to pop this new one on, and this one's pretty tight. I have to do this off camera. As soon as it snaps in, you have something just like that. Now this head sculpt is really cool. This definitely looks like Raph. A little too Raph. But yeah, I really like this expression, man. He's got that open mouth. You can kind of see the tongue showing just a little bit. You got his teeth showing. He just looks super angry. Now, unfortunately with this, you can't take the helmet off, which I kind of wish they would have gave him a removable helmet. That way you could use both these head sculpts and maybe pop the bandana to where it's interchangeable. But you can only have this head sculpt with the helmet, so that kind of sucks. Another thing about this is the goggles are on top of the helmet. So if you're going to give us interchangeable head sculpt with a helmet, at least put the goggles on him, because he definitely wears the goggles. But yeah, he basically wears this helmet in a scene where him and Batgirl are on motorcycles. But yeah, so I really do like this head sculpt. And just looking at the torso here, you do have really nice sculpt and paint going on. You got those black lines just like you see with the animated Batman and Turtles. He's got a really nice sculpted shell, which is a little bit bigger than his brother's. You got that thick belt, and you do see an R there, which is reminiscent of that old cartoon. It's just a little bit more hidden, just like they did with Leo. So you can see the R, but it's not like totally noticeable. The whole musculature is very bulky. So he's got some real big muscles going on here. Now he does have the hand wraps, which is different from all the other turtles. He's the only one that has the wrist and hand wraps, which is nice. Looking at the back of the shell, you do get some really nice sculpted details going on here as well. Now this is actually going to be a storage for his size, and I'll show you how to do that. And I do like how the elbow pads and actually the knee pads look much different than what we saw with Leonardo. These look a bit more like armor, and I think that looks really nice with the helmet. And then looking at the bottom of the figure with the legs, again, you got those knee pads that are just like the elbow pads, kind of have that bit more like armored look. So I do like that. You got that same line work going on like you see with the shell. You got the nice black lines just to give it, again, that cartoon type of look. And then you got the two toes, which is how they did the turtles this time, which is always my preferred look for turtles. You don't have peg holes in the bottom of the feet, but you do have some details going on there. And in the back, you could just see just part of the back of the knee pads. So overall, great details. So taking a look at the articulation, I'm going to go ahead and start with Robin. Now I'm going to show it to you with the regular head, not the hooded head. The hooded head, all you could do is turn it left and right. There's no pivot, there's nothing. You could just turn it and that's it. So that's a bit of an issue. But with the regular head, you can get some really good tilt poses in here, so his head will rock really easily. So you can get that little like sarcastic expression all day with this guy. Now the one thing you can't really do is you can't look up. And that's the problem with this line. Like, none of the characters can look up. They can look down, but I mean there's no reason for him to look down. There's nobody shorter than him. And then for the arms, you can get the arms to go out pretty far, just like you would want. And they can go up a decent amount. Pretty good, actually. You can go down all the way, almost. It can't quite go in, so it can go decent. There is just a single hinged elbow here. You get some decent rotation in the hand. And they all seem to have better rotation than Batman for some reason. You can move this all around. No issue. And then you can tilt him pretty decently far down, and then you can go up or back pretty far. So yeah, you got some decent rotation there. You could twist also. You want to get him to the left and to the right. The legs go out, but I'm having a hard time getting him in a split, which kind of sucks because he's definitely one of those that does those splits. You can get a decent high kick, but yeah, it just won't hold that pose. Go out decently far, decently back, and then he does have a double jointed knee. And then as far as the feet, you can go down pretty far, go up a little bit, and then you got a little bit of ankle pivot. Alright, so taking a look at Raphael's articulation, it's really similar to what we've already seen with like Leonardo. So you can turn the head all the way around. Just like Leonardo, you really can't pose the bandana much, unfortunately. The arm can go all the way up and all the way down. They can go all the way out, which is nice. Again, nothing really up top, just like Leonardo, but you do get swivel at the elbow, and you get the single hinge joint. The wrists do turn nice on the turtles. You can move it pretty much any direction. It's still a little weird. You can't like pivot as easy in every direction, but it does have really good range. Not much really in terms of the shell. And there is a joint here. I just can't really see much need for it because I really can't get it to do much. And it's the same with Leonardo. There is something. And then you can do the split pretty good. You could do a high kick really good, like that. Go about that far out, that far back. You do get the double hinge at the knee. The foot can go down really good, but it really can't go up any farther. And then you do get really nice ankle pivot. Now, just like Leonardo, you don't get a ton of accessories with Raphael, but you do get fairly large accessories. So we already kind of looked at the interchangeable head, but you do get the size, of course. And I think these are done pretty nice. The colors kind of match up a little bit with Leo's, but you do get the wraps all over the handle and just around part of the sides of the size. So pretty good detail on there. So you do get the fisted hands, of course, and then the other set of hands you get is the just open gripping hands, which are kind of nice. I like the detail on these. And then the other extra set of hands you get are specifically for holding the size. And the way they've done this is you actually got a hole in the hand. Now I kind of showed you with Batman how you actually can hold the size in the hands he comes with, but now looking at these Raphael hands, the hands that Batman comes with were probably just for the Batarang, but it just happens to fit those size. Because the way they've done this is completely different than those Batman hands. So again, you got the wraps on here just like the other hands, but instead you have this hole going right through the two fingers, and that's where you're going to put that sai. And to interchange the hand, you just want to pull this out, and they are a little tough. As soon as you get that out, you do have that same peg system you had with the other ones. And then you can take the new hand and port that in. And you want to try not to rotate this peg as you're doing it. It's really hard to get it in there, but you can get it in, and it fits really snug. And just like the other characters, you do get a slice of pizza with this Raphael, which is the last accessory. And he doesn't hold it quite as good in those open hands. You just have to kind of figure out how to hold it a little bit better, but he can hold it in there. And here he is holding the size with those hands that have the holes going through the fingers, so you can kind of hold it in that classic way he likes to hold the size. And he seems to do it pretty good. I really couldn't get the handle to go, or the side of that side to go under the thumb. Probably have to heat it up to get it to do that. But overall, I think he holds them pretty good. And just like Leonardo, you actually do have weapon storage, and you can actually store these sais on the back of the belt. Now, this does look kind of weird, but it is how he actually stored them in the animated movie. The only thing different is the holes are pretty far apart, and he can't quite get these to go in any farther. So yes, you can store them on here. It's not perfect, though. Now for Robin's accessories, you do get a decent amount of stuff. The first thing you do get the long staff, and then you get the smaller staff, which is basically just like condensed. And then you also get a Gotham City manhole cover. And I don't know what it is, it may be the color or the design, but it reminds me of like an Eggo waffle. But you do get those items, and they do look pretty good. And then you also get a couple Batarangs. Now, unlike Batman, who only got one Batarang, with Robin you get two, which is nice. You also get that grapple gun, and it comes with a closed grapple hook, and you also get the open grapple hook, and it works just the same as the Batman one does. You just kind of unplug that, and then you just want to port this other one in, and then it gives you the more open grapple hook. And then for the last two accessories for Robin, you do get the slice of pizza, just like you do with all the other characters. And then I wasn't sure what to call this little accessory in my Batman review, but looking at the back of the box, it looks like it's called the Bat Bomb. I thought it was that thing that Batman threw on Mikey that basically grapple hooked him to the wall. But yeah, it looks like it is called the Bat Bomb. And just like all the other figures, you do get multiple pairs of hands. You can see he does have the fisted hands that come on the figure in the box. Then you have some tighter gripping hands, and then you have a little bit more open gripping hands. Alright, so to interchange the hand, you do want to be careful because Robin is so small, you don't want to lose these hands. And it comes out very easy. Might even be easier than the other larger characters. You just want to port that new one in. And yeah, it was pretty easy for Robin, so he's probably the best to change the hands so far. Here he is holding the grapple gun. And here is my weak attempt to get him to hold this bat bomb. He just can't hold this thing. The hands aren't big enough. There's just no way. He can kind of put it in both hands and just kind of rest it there, but for the most part, this accessory is a really tough one to get him to hold. Here he is holding the slice of pizza, and he can grip onto that pretty good. Here he is holding the staff, and you actually can get him in a nice two-handed pose. Here he is holding the closed staff, or collapsed staff. And finally, here he is holding the batarangs. And since you do get the two very closed gripping hands, you can actually hold them both. And I really can't get anything else in these really tight gripping hands. So for the first comparison, here's all the figures that have been released so far in this Batman vs. TMNT movie line. You have Raphael, Robin, Batman, Leonardo, and Mikey as Batman. And overall, I do think the heights look pretty good, and it seems like they're consistent with how they looked in the movie. For the next comparison, here is some of the Batman vs. TMNT figures mixed in with the Batman the Animated Series figures. And I think these fit good for the most part. And if you really wanted to, you could use the NECA Toys cartoon Shredder as a good stand-in until that Shredder comes. He does seem to have a pretty good height comparison. Batman might be just a little too tall compared to Shredder, but overall it does look pretty cool with these figures. For your Raphael comparisons, here he is next to the 1987 Wolf cartoon version of Raphael, and then the 1990 movie version of Raphael, and both of those are made by NECA Toys. And for one more Raphael comparison, here he is next to the movie star Raphael, which is made by Playmates Toys, and then the Eastman and Laird original Mirage Comics Raphael, which is made by NECA Toys. Alright, so that's my review of the Batman vs. TMNT Robin and Raphael 2-pack. And overall, I pretty much have the same thoughts I had about the Leo and Batman. I do really like the set. I think it's a pretty well done set of figures. I like that they're very, very close to the look of the animated movie. I mean, they almost look like they stepped right out of that movie. So I'm pretty happy with that. Really don't have any complaints about the actual design or anything. Now, just like the Batman and Leo, you definitely have those little like paint flubs on the characters, like here and there. I don't think it's as bad as the Batman Leo set, but you do have a couple little issues. Robin, he definitely has some issues holding the weapons. And then Raph, I love that they did the different hands, but it's not 100% perfect. But overall, you know, like I said, I'm pretty happy with the set. I think I have less complaints about this. Now, I will say one thing I like a little bit better about this set than the Batman Leo also is that you get interchangeable heads. This is something I really wish we got with this entire line, especially Shredder, because he definitely, like, you know, he loses part of the face mask in one of the scenes. So I do like that you get that. So I think that alone might push this set just a little bit over the last set, but you know, it's Batman. It's hard to push it over that. But yeah, I do like that you get two different interchangeable heads here. I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of this line. You know, Shredder is definitely my #1 most wanted from this line, so I'm really excited to get that one. So the next set should be coming out in October, which I should be reviewing that one as well. So thanks for watching my review. Please leave a comment or question if you have one. Like the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And I primarily do horror figures, but I'm a diehard Batman and Turtles fan, so this was a pretty easy purchase for me. Now you can still pre-order these on GameStop's website or in store. I recommend in store, but you know, use your own preference. But yeah. Check out more videos coming soon, and I do have, again, that video of Leonardo and Batman on my channel. Alright, and until next time, guys, see ya!